Good evening and welcome to Thai PBS English News Service. I'm Supajon Klinsuwan. The Yingluck government is seeing a first cabinet reshuffle a bit earlier than expected, according to political analysts. We can expect to see 10 new faces on board, which PM Yingluck says will create working efficiency. 16 out of a total of 35 seats in the cabinet will be changed. 9 ministers will go, 6 shifted, and 10 new faces will join. Yingluck is moving Thirachai Phuanat Naraduban out and moving Deputy Prime Minister and Commerce Minister Kitirat Naranong to sit at the Finance Ministry instead, while Bunsong Teriya Pirom will be Deputy Finance Minister. Bunsong is a close friend of Yawapa Wongsawat, who is the sister of both Yingluck and former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra. This move is quite clear that the government wants to create unity among monetary ministries after Thirachai was at first outspoken about himself not agreeing with the government's intention to move a 1.14 debt to the Bank of Thailand. Meanwhile, Education Minister Warawat Pinyakul will be seated at the minister attached to the PM's office. Meanwhile, Air Chief Marshal Sukampon Suwanatat, who is the Transport Minister, will now oversee the Ministry of Defense. Analysts say General Yudasak Sasiprapa's stance with the military's top brass is too compromising. Also, that Sukampon is Thaksin Shinawat's classmate back in pre-cadet school. Another controversial yet expected move is the appointment of Nattawut Saikia, who is a core red shirt leader, as Deputy Minister of Agriculture. The National Democratic Front, or NPSH, otherwise known as the Red Shirt Movement, have long been the support of the Pheu Thai Party. The other new faces will include Suchat Thara Thamrongwet, former Finance Minister, who will now sit at the Education Ministry. Niwat Thamrong Bunsong Phaisan, former executive at Shincorp, will now be Minister attached to the Prime Minister's office. Jarupong Rinsuwan, Pheu Thai Party Secretary General, will now be the new Transport Minister, while Arak Chornrathanon, a former Thaicom executive and a close aide of the Prime Minister, will be Energy Minister. Opposition leader Abhisit Wechachiwa says the Prime Minister must be able to provide a good reason why this reshuffle occurred in less than a year after the government came into power. Abhisit claims the new cabinet is seen by the public as a repayment move to benefit those who are political and financial supporters. However, Yingluck insists the new list of cabinet members will increase work efficiency. Political analysts now expect another big cabinet reshuffle to be mid-year this year, as that is when the 111 executives from the old Thai Rak Thai Party will be lifted from their 5-year political ban. Some residents in the Thai-Cambodian border in Sisaket province have evacuated following fears that soldiers from both sides may clash. Sources inside the military suggest Thailand's move in placing Buddhist images along the border may be the cause. There have not yet been any reports of attacks by either side, but locals in Sao Thongchai of Kantaralak district in Sisaket province started cleaning up their raid shelters, as they say they would prepare themselves for any possible clashes between the soldiers. Despite Thai officials have denied claims of any confrontation between the two sides, many shop owners along the border have closed down their businesses after seeing another company of Thai soldiers deployed along the border. The number of tourists going up Pa Mo Idang, which is on the border of Thai soil before reaching the ancient Pravihir temple in Cambodia's territory, have decreased dramatically. Some villagers in the area told Thai PBS that the tension between the two sides escalated after Thailand's move to set up 7 Buddhist images along the Thai border. Military analysts say this might have a psychological effect on Cambodia's military, as the struggle to claim a 4.6 square kilometer plot of land near the ancient temple still exists. And at the CEO Forum organized by the Board of Investments, otherwise known as the BOI, the Deputy Prime Minister and Commerce Minister stated that the government was considering having the Finance Ministry buy shares in PTT and Thai Airways, essentially renationalizing the companies so that they will no longer be classified as state enterprises. Meanwhile, visiting Tony Blair, former British Prime Minister, said the government is one of the most important elements in supporting and driving the business sector. Here's more with Dr. Rungtip Chonapalai.
During a CEO Forum seminar organized by the Board of Investment of Thailand, or BOI, there were many CEOs representing world-class companies in attendance to exchange their opinions with Thai industry leaders from both state and private sectors regarding the world economy and investment. Tony Blair, former British Prime Minister, stated that there are 5 important lessons for government to understand. The main point is to drive development between the state, private sector and the Thai people, and that differences of opinion were natural and important. Mr. Blair emphasized that the government is one of the most significant elements in supporting and driving the business sector to restore confidence and set fair rates for wages and improving working conditions for the workforce. The government has to develop and ensure a fair and viable social welfare system. He further pointed out the ways in which the European Union has had to tackle both economic and debt crisis in ways that may require long-term structural reform. Meanwhile, Kitirat Naranong, the Deputy Prime Minister and Commerce Minister, said that although Thailand has faced the flood crisis, it is not a reason for government to slow down economic stimulation, especially the minimum wage increase policy. Kitirat stated that government will listen to Dr. Virapong Ramangun, the chairman of the Committee of Restoring and Building the Future of Thailand, or GOYAOR, who advises the Bayupak Fund of Finance Ministry to buy stakes in PTT and Thai Airways so that they are no longer state enterprises. By doing so, he explained, public debt will go down. He further insisted that cabinet reshuffle will not affect confidence in the government or its work. Runtip Chonapalai reporting for Thai PBS.
Kun Natha Gowanwatin of Thai PBS also sat down and had an exclusive interview with former British Prime Minister Tony Blair. Kun Natha asked what would be the potential of Thailand concerning ASEAN integration. Here's more.
I think Thailand's got a fantastic opportunity at the moment. Look, you've got all these issues to do with your politics and you're going to have to work those out. But the opportunity for Thailand is that you're part of the ASEAN bloc. What's happening within that bloc is interesting. You know, countries are growing strongly. You've got Indonesia changing a lot now, Vietnam, very different, Philippines. You've got Myanmar potentially opening up. You know, you've got a situation in which if Thailand's clever about it, you could be the gateway for investment into that whole region.
In what way we can be clever about it?
I think really Thailand is both in terms of culture, its people, in terms of a place to do business. It's actually an easy place to come. Now, very obviously, what people have been reading about Thailand, I mean, apart from the terrible tragedy of the flooding and so on, which you've come through, you know, and you have come through it, but it's obviously been about your politics, and, you know, that issue is obviously going to be resolved. But my point to outside investors is, actually, there is no real difference in the politics of Thailand about people coming here. You know, people are, whatever political party is in power, foreign investment is welcome in Thailand.
For more of that, please do stay tuned to TD Thai PBS, which is coming right after Thai PBS English News Service. Plunging rubber prices have led to protesters demanding that the government tackle the problem. Dr. Runtip talked to Anand Dalodom, president of the Horticultural Science Society of Thailand, who said that Thailand is the world's largest rubber exporter and a member of the International Rubber Consortium, or the IRC, with Malaysia and Indonesia. Anand believes that it is time for Thailand to stand firm and use the machinery of the IRC to promote and improve the rubber price.
We should use this mechanism in order to share and responsibility and to bring the supply from the rubber market, keep in stock. And the money that we have to use for buy the rubber, we should share according to the number of the rubber that each country can produce. Maybe Thailand have to pay more because we are the number one producer, and Indonesia should be the second, and Malaysia should be the third. But in the last 5 years, we never used this mechanism, you know, in order to intervene for the rubber price. and Thailand should not be taking the burden alone, because if we raise up the rubber price in the world market, and we cannot sell our rubber because the price is high, but other countries will enjoy. Because they import the country will go to Indonesia, Malaysia or Vietnam, because they can get the lower price of the rubber, because intervened by Thailand only.
Anand suggests that the government should set up a committee to include representatives from the rubber producers to address the problems of continuously falling prices. Meanwhile, during the meeting of Committee of Natural Rubber Policy, which Ratnaranong, Deputy Prime Minister and Commerce Minister, is a chairman, the committee approved 2 billion baht through the Bank of Agriculture and Agricultural Cooperatives to buy rubber for now. Next week, the committee prepares to ask for 15 billion baht to help buying rubber in the market price. Security officials in the 3 southern provinces have been ordered to increase security over the Chinese New Year celebrations, while this morning a police officer and his 14-year-old son were shot to death in the deep southern province of Pattani. Police Sergeant Sataporn Gongbut was killed along with his 14-year-old son in Saiburi district. The father and son were riding on a motorcycle on the way to the son's school when insurgents also riding on a motorcycle fired at them. Both were shot in the head and torso. They died at the scene. The policeman's motorbike and gun were stolen, while shots of M16 rifles and a 9mm pistol were found. 2 surveillance cameras are installed at the site, but they were reported to be out of order. Local police were on alert following a report that suspected insurgents planned to kill officials. The government announced the Chinese New Year, which falls on January 23rd, to be a public holiday for the Deep South provinces. Security officials in 4 southern provinces, namely Yala, Pattani, Narathiwat, and Satun, have been ordered to increase security over the celebrations to curb any possible attacks. Still in the south, authorities responsible for the Pa Phayom Reservoir have been forced to release more water, resulting in further flooding due to fears that the overcapacity might result in worse effects. Locals in Pathalung's Pa Phayom district couldn't do much but to accept the fact that they will have to be flooded by water released from the Pa Phayom Reservoir. Pa Phayom Reservoir is limited to only 20 million cubic meters. The current situation is now over capacity at 102% after continuous heavy rainfalls hit the southern region. The released water and the rainfall adding to the water already in the fields are affecting the lives of people downstream of the reservoir, destroying their crops and demolishing their homes and bridges. Local residents have been advised to stock up food for at least a week for survival. And that brings us to the end of tonight's edition of Thai PBS English News Service. Thank you so much for watching us. And right at the moment, Thai PBS English News Service is looking for new staffs, especially the English-speaking news reporters. So if you are interested, please do email your CV, or maybe just email us and we'll send you back the job description afterward. And that brings us to the end of tonight's edition. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Suwajong Klin Suwan. Sawadee krap.